I have heard of a mystical magic called Wu, deep in the mountains of Chongqing. Under its influence, a magical grilled fish was born. Chongqing, China. Just like the rest of China, Chongqing is a city that is too big, too futuristic, and too cultured to possibly understand. The scale of everything here is overstimulating. I embarked on a journey to explore Chongqing, Wu, and grilled fish. The place where I feel the magical power is called Wuxi. Where does Wu come from? The lush mountains? The dawning river that runs through Wuxi? The friendly people? Or is it something that needs a closer look? I learned that the fish starts with Wu culture, a strand of Chinese witchcraft and wizardry localized to Wuxi.
我姓张，叫张宗成，小名叫陈华成。你像我们那儿吃烤鱼的话，第一是文化，科学是解释不出来的。
I realized that Wu is a type of magic, one that is highly spiritual to Sifu and his fish. Sifu clearly understands Wu, but he can only put so much to words. The rest of Wu is outside of words. It comes down to believing. Intrigued, yet still skeptical, I go somewhere that I know will give me more reliable information. I attend a lecture on Wu culture from some experts. Aside from my attempts at politeness by saying xie xie to those around me, I know next to nothing about understanding the languages and dialects of China. This does not stop me from learning what Wu culture is.
这个Wu文化里面呢，就是山，我们说到，特别是高山，往往是巫师活动的重要地方，也是通神的地方。他们为什么要到这些地方？第一，通过登山当中的对体力的极限消耗，人进入一种迷幻状态以后，他就容易陷入他自认为的一种想象当中通神的这样一种状态。那么对水的使用呢，这个地方既出产鱼又盛产盐。那么我们知道，盛产盐在大巫山地区最重要的就是这个林场的这个盐。那么鱼当然到处都有，但是能够将鱼和盐结合起来，可能这是一个很重要的一个因素。这是从鱼盐的资源关系看烤鱼。
Like these salt makers, Sifu's forefathers were some of the pioneers that evolved the craft of salt and fish in Wuxi. Did the spirits of Wu pass on the power of salt from Sifu's ancestors to him? The roots of the mountains are the herbs of Wuxi. Sifu told me it is the natural elements of these mountains themselves that deliver health to Wuxi and its people. Perhaps it is the Wu spirits that were seen on mountain peaks generations ago that have passed on these herbs to Wuxi.
我们烤鱼的特色秘方是，银巴是我自己秘制的，在菜山区果儿切菜的中草油、香料秘制而成。那个有一些香料的话，市场上有些买不到，但是市场上有一些香料是有。比如我们炒料的话，我的炒那个大锅料的话，丁香、八角、山奈，那些都是属于香料，孜然那些都属于炒大料用。
The herbs are not only the roots of the Wuxi mountains, but the secret behind his recipe. Sifu reflected to me how he has always had a deep connection with the river. As a child, he played by the river in search of fish. In Wu culture, there is the concept of a shaman, someone who is half human, half fish. Could Sifu be such a human who embodies the spirit of a fish? I believe so. In the imaginary world, fish is seen as God and the protectors, even happiness. In the real world, people simply grill and eat the fish. Sifu is living proof of how the imaginary and the real intertwine in Chinese fish culture. As a protector of those who reside by the river, highly spiritual to Sifu and his fish. I refuse to believe that it is this simple, that the fish, salt, and the herbs of this dish are what make it magic. His appetite for the popularity of his fish remains insatiable. He thinks his fish can go further. Outside of Wuxi, outside of Chongqing, and outside of China. All great chefs are perfectionists of their signature dish. Sifu is no exception to this unwritten rule. This seems true in both China and Canada. Growing up alongside my father, a chef, witnessing the meticulous cooking process is no stranger to me. However, each great chef has their own style, flavor, and passion that illuminates the food that they create. Sifu's cooking was my inaugural experience of Eastern cuisine being perfected in front of my own eyes, far away from the Western food world. Before I got to China, I was told a Chinese proverb about how you must experience things for yourself, not only read about them. Read 10,000 volumes, traveling thousands of miles. I wouldn't have thought that such meaningful Eastern wisdom would feel the most graspable where I ended up finding it, in the back of a dimly lit barbecue fish restaurant. But it was. Of all the places I'd seen mere fragments of in China, it was in the back of Chengwazi with Sifu that elucidated my experience of the magic the most so far. My personal obsession with the kitchen has officially started a new chapter, with my discovery of Wu, Sifu, and his magic fish.